You forget 1,000 things every day. This game ain't one of them. So Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, and wow, it was a mega hit, with people calling it the best video game of all time. No, it fucking isn't, but it is definitely one of the best video games that I have personally played. There is no such thing as the number one game ever. That's just not accurate or possible or logical or realistic at all. So the game focuses on 3 characters this time instead of just one, usually a silent protagonist. But here you play as 3 characters and they don't feel like cardboard cutouts, like other games. There are other games that do the same thing, but this one, it's really immersive. You play as Franklin, who's a gang member who's trying to move up in the world and make a name for himself. There's Michael, a has-been thief who ends up having to get back into the game because he gets himself into a bit of trouble. And he also teams up with his psychotic, sociopathic, murderous, gun-running friend, Trevor Phillips, played by Stephen Ogg. And wow, does this game do a phenomenal job at having these characters bounce off each other. They relate really well. You believe their friendships and their hardships because they play it just realistically enough without it feeling too cartoonish or exaggerated just to make the plot work, like other stories do and fuck it up in many beautiful ways. I'm of course referring to the DDLC mods. Don't ask, I'm not fucking reviewing them, ever. I love the way that this game looks. I mean, just take a look at this. Look at this map. You can explore every single inch of this map with pretty much no fail. It is so immersive. It's the biggest map that the series has ever had, and I love how close to detail they got. So the positives of Grand Theft Auto 5, there's way too much to talk about. There's actually a YouTuber by the name of Muntchunk who did a 9-hour analysis of the entire franchise of GTA games. But the one for GTA 5 is a good few hours long, so I'll just summarize it the best that I can here. Because he says way more than I can. So I'll just say this. The types of weapons that you can buy, the locations that you can purchase, the vehicles, the customization, the look, the feel, the designs, the motion capture, the voice acting, the land, the locations. Holy fuck. There's a lot of good stuff in this game. There is so much to do in this game. And I'm not just talking about like the main missions. This is just the world itself. You can explore this entire, basically it's like basically a fictional continent. And oh, the clothes, the different designs of clothes are so finely detailed. The sunset is beautiful to watch during the evening points in the game. The transitions from night to day and day to night. I heard that it's a homage to Breaking Bad. I don't like that series because of what it is, basically, but that's a fine transition idea. I love how the game also makes commentary on how certain people live, and so, stuff like that. I also really have to respect the commentary on how African American families usually live in the lower class area. How they basically have, I don't want to say nothing, but not as much. And how times are like way more hard for them. I love how realistically that they play it here. How they try to shine a light on that while not feeling preachy, and they're not making fun of it. You know, I mean, come on, they're not fucking South Park. Or Family Guy. Anyway, so the tone and the atmosphere of this game is wonderfully done. The dynamic of the characters work really well, other characters as well. Michael's shrink, his therapist that he goes to see, turns out to actually just be a con man. I thought that that was really, really surprising to me that they actually went through with revealing him to actually be a crook, basically. You do have the option to kill him or let him go. I also love the choice-based options that happen throughout the game that usually change certain things that happen. And yes, I do have to talk about Undertale here as well. With Undertale, every minute thing that you do affects how the game plays, how it ends, and how every future playthrough happens, if it's not a true reset. With the Genocide run, you can't truly reset the game. Well, I mean, you technically could, but you wouldn't get a true pacifist ending ever again. I watched clips. I tried to do more homework on that because I just got the game for Xbox. I can't wait to play it again. I never completed a run before. Ever. I kept rage quitting. But anyway, we're talking about GTA 5 here. So I do have to mention the endings to this game as well, and the choices that you can make. Certain choices that affect how certain things happen. Missions can be started with certain characters. Like Franklin can start a mission that usually would have a cutscene involving Michael. Like when Michael chases down the tennis coach who's banging his wife, Amanda. When you start off as Franklin, you can actually see the guy jumping down from the balcony of the house, of Michael's house. But if you play as Michael, you actually get to walk inside and actually catch the guy in action. Then you go chase him down, and you just happen to meet Franklin at the front door when you go downstairs. I thought, that's a great idea. A really fucking great idea. So yeah, the plot is all three of these characters have to do jobs, essentially, will end up having to do jobs for the FIB. Not FBI, it's FIB in this game. Federal Investigation Bureau, instead of Federal Bureau of Investigation. FIB, get it? They're corrupt as fuck. I love that. I love the fucking commentary here. The dynamic that Steve Haynes, a corrupt agent, has with Trevor Phillips and Michael specifically, that works really well. He's an entertainingly jerkish character. Then there's Devin Weston, an asshole billionaire character who eventually tries to wipe out Michael's family because he fucks up with his plans of bulldozing a movie studio. I do like the references that they make in this game as well. They wear alien costumes on the film set when you drive by at the very start. When you play as Franklin, you can actually see them wearing costumes that look like the xenomorphs from the Alien films. God, I hate most of those movies, except Romulus. But the designs of the aliens actually do look really well. But now, later on in the game, you get phone calls, as Michael, you get phone calls from Amanda, his wife, and their kids. Tracy, their daughter, and Jimmy, their asshole son. I say that he's an asshole because that's pretty much how he is throughout the whole game. But the voice acting and motion capture are really well done here for all characters here. They don't force it, and they don't half-ass it either, like 4Kids did. But you get phone calls from each of them, and the game basically gives you an opportunity to accept helping them out with whatever's going on there, or leave them to fend for themselves. If you choose to let them fend for themselves, the game won't exactly like you very much, but you'll still, get to do basically everything but the last mission of the game. That basically serves as to how you, the player, as a person, truly feels about, what's good and what's wrong. And that's between choices A, B, and C. Now, I want to talk about this particular mission in other videos, talking about each choice. But I do want to mention this. Pick option C, because that's the good option. Option A isn't exactly the friendliest, but it's not the worst thing ever. But it does kind of have you in sort of an unlucky spot right in the middle. But choosing option B is the fuck you ending, basically is what I call it. The same as Doki Doki Literature Club's normal ending. It flips you the bird, basically. And Undertale has way too many of those, 93 to be exact, endings. But not all of them are necessarily terrible. But yeah. Now, let's get on to what I consider to be the only two negatives of the game. Sort of three-ish, 2.5. First off is the option to kill Michael. This I will talk about in a bad endings list sometime in the future, but all that I'll say is it fucking sucks. And then there's the controversial torture scene. Yeah, I'm leaving it just right there. And that's really all that I got for this game. If you haven't played it, seriously give it a try. It's very, very long, but trust me, it is so worth it. It is one of the most acclaimed games ever, and it truly is a sight to see.